Hey there, Kipster. Welcome back to science class. Today we are going to jump right in to our unit, ecosystem restoration. Now, if you don't recognize either of those words, that is okay. As we go through this unit, we're going to talk about what ecosystem restoration means and what it is. So, before we get started, if you did not do the warm-up on Google Classroom in the classwork, I want you to go and do that now. Pause this video, go and do that now. It's listed as a pre-test. It's not a test, just try your best. I just want to see what you know before we start this unit. So you're going to go ahead, you're going to look at this diagram, and you're going to try to answer these four questions below. If you haven't done it yet, go do that now. Now, we are going to begin our new unit, and we are going to write a scientific argument. So we are going to talk about what we think is happening to snakes in an ecosystem based on diagram and data. So if you look back at this past slide, this is a diagram, and then data would be numbers to show what's happening. So we're going to look at that later on in this video. Now, I want you to think, have you ever seen the coyote try to catch the roadrunner? If you have, I want you to think about it. Why does the coyote want to catch the roadrunner? I want you to think about that while we watch this clip. All right, I want you to think to yourself, why does the coyote want to catch the roadrunner? Keep that question in mind while we go through this unit. Now, I said that this unit is called ecosystem restoration, so we're going to talk about what an ecosystem is. If you look at all these pictures that you see here, I want you to think, what do you think, if these are ecosystems, what do you think an ecosystem is? An ecosystem is a place where animals and plants live together in their environment. There are many different types of ecosystems, like you saw on this past page. These are all ecosystems, from the rainforest to the tundra to the coral reef, desert, savanna. Those are all ecosystems. Any place animals and plants live together is an ecosystem. And throughout this unit, we are going to be collecting evidence. So we are going to be finding reasons to answer this question. How do organisms in an ecosystem get the matter and energy that they need to grow and thrive? So let's think back to the coyote and the roadrunner. Why was the coyote going after the roadrunner? Why was he trying to catch him? That is how this organism, the coyote, is getting his matter and energy to grow and thrive and survive. So let's look at this picture here. It is the picture of an ecosystem. It's a rainforest. This is a rainforest in Australia. I'm looking at this picture and I'm thinking, what is one thing I might see in this ecosystem? What's something I might find in this ecosystem? I know that in rainforests, there's a lot of different animals, but the animal I thought of was a monkey. I think that in this rainforest, there was a monkey. Now, what do you think that monkey needs in order to grow? I want you to think about it. Think back to that coyote and the roadrunner. What does it need to grow? Now, I want you to think about this ecosystem, the savanna. I see a living thing right here. We know that elephants live in savannas. We also know giraffes and lions and other types of animals live there. What do all of those living things need in order to grow and thrive? Keep that question in mind. We're going to keep thinking about that. So, like I said, our big question is, how do organisms in an ecosystem get the matter and energy they need to grow and thrive? Another way to say is, we are going to be investigating how living things in an ecosystem grow. So thinking back, the coyote, the monkey, the elephant, how are all those things growing? What do you need to grow? Now, we are going to keep that question in mind as we move forward and talk about this job here. Even though these people are in different places, these are both ecologists. And ecologists are scientists, just like us, who study ecosystems. So this year, we are all going to be ecologists together. Ecologists observe or look at ecosystems and parts of the ecosystem in order to draw conclusions about them. So earlier, I said we're going to be making an argument looking at data. Ecologists observe ecosystems, collect data, and then make arguments about them. Throughout this unit, you are going to be an ecologist. We're a scientist who studies ecosystems. We are going to gather information that's going to help us draw conclusions about ecosystems and their parts. Now, you do not have to do this as a writing activity, but I want to go over this so we can look at why this forest ecosystem is not thriving. So let's look at the first scenario. It says mice, snakes, grass, and mushrooms. So mice, snakes, grass, and mushrooms live in the area of a forest. So the forest is the ecosystem, and these are all the living things living there. The mushrooms are decomposers. A forest ranger has gathered data showing that snakes are not growing and thriving in the forest. So part 1 over here says the forest ranger has filled in, the forest ranger has filled in some information in this diagram. So you see the grass going to the mouse going to the snake. Finish the diagram by adding symbols and labels to show what the grass, mice, snakes, and mushrooms need to grow. So let's think about that. If you needed to add to this diagram, what do you think you would do? I want you to look at this for about 10 more seconds and think what you would add to this diagram. All right, let's look at part 2. Part 2 says the forest ranger is getting ready to present information to an ecosystem restoration group, just like us, about why the snakes are not growing and thriving. Use the data in the table, so the numbers in the table, and your completed diagram to write an argument about why the snakes are not growing and thriving in the forest. Be sure to explain what you know about ecosystems, matter and molecules, and energy. So let's see, here we've got the number of snakes. It shows that last year there were 150 snakes, and now this year there are only 65. Last year there were 200 mice. This year there's only 75. Last year there were 300 grass plants, and now there's only 200. The number of mushrooms has gone from 500 to 200 in the last year. The number of sunny days has increased from 210 to 260. The number of rainy days has gone from 285 to 285, same amount of rain, and the carbon dioxide in the air has remained normal. So why do you think the snakes are not growing and thriving in this forest ecosystem? I want you to take about 30 seconds to think about that. All right, some things that I noticed in this data is that the number of snakes went down, but also so did the number of mice, the number of grass plants, and the numbers of mushrooms. How can the number of mushrooms, plants, and mice be affecting the number of snakes? How might the increase in sunny days be affecting the number of snakes? Those are things we're going to be researching and thinking about this unit. Now, the last thing we're going to look at is a simulation. Ecologists and other scientists often make use of simulations to study things they cannot see directly. So we are going to look at the simulation to see something that we cannot see directly. As we go through this, I want you thinking about these three questions. What did you observe while exploring the simulation? What did you figure out about how it works? And what did the exploration make you wonder about? All right, so let's take a look at this simulation. Over here, I see a key. That's telling me what each of these mean and what these things floating around are. I'm going to go ahead and start the simulation. I want you to watch what's happening and how energy is moving throughout this ecosystem. All right, so that was our simulation. I saw this plant getting some energy from the sun. I saw the rabbit getting energy from this plant. I saw the mushrooms kind of doing something on their own. And I saw the wolves getting energy from the rabbits. Now, I want you to keep those things in mind. And as we explore ecosystems in this unit, we are going to find out more about how energy is transferred throughout an ecosystem and how living things get the matter and energy that they need to survive. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see y'all next week.